The World Wrestling Federation. For over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
It was 1 week ago today that the largest wrestling crowd in 5 years flooded the Alamo Dome. Over 60,000 WWF fans gathered to witness San Antonio's native son, the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels, compete for the World Wrestling Federation Championship, and Shawn Michaels delivered.
I said shit.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Sunday Morning Superstars here on the USA Network. Hi again, everybody. I'm Jim Ross alongside James E. Cornette. Cornette back from the injured reserve. He's still a little bit of a pain in the neck, but be that as it may, the big news, Shawn Michaels is once again the WWF champion, and in this hour, we will hear from Bret the Hitman Hart, who after this Monday, I'm sure has a lot to say, James E.
But that's not all, because today we have Hunter Hearst Helmsley taking on Ahmed Johnson in a non-title contest. And you talk about the Super Bowl today? Well, we've got the Superstar Bowl. And what would a bowl be, JR, without a queen? Here's the queen of the Superstar Bowl, Sunny.
And your guest timekeeper for the Superstar Bowl, the one, the only, Sunny.
Well, as Super Bowl Sunday winds on, I'm sure Sunny hasn't had too many incomplete passes thrown her way.
Oh, JR, I'm so sick of hearing, you know, it's a well-documented fact, I hate football, but I've been looking forward to today because instead of the Super Bowl, we've got the Superstars Bowl, and it's going to be a tremendous matchup, and after all, Sunny is the belle of the bowl.
Well, why don't you tell us the rules of this very unique contest we're about to see here this morning on Sunday Morning Superstars.
Well, it's really quite simple, JR. 4 teams are involved, a team in each corner of the ring. A tag can be made to any man, not just your partner. Failure to accept the tag is an automatic disqualification. When a man is pinned, his team is eliminated, and the last team remaining is the winner. If I was Hillbilly Jim calling strategy for the Godwins, I would say the best strategy to the other teams, get them in. Tag the other guys, leave your partner and yourself on the apron to rest until the field gets cleared.
Nation of Domination certainly very prevalent yesterday afternoon in Madison Square Garden. We'll show you some exclusive footage from MSG a little bit later here this morning. It seems as if the Nation of Domination has a new member. We'll have more on that. Of course, also some exclusive footage from last night's Shotgun Saturday Night involving the Nation of Domination as well. But this is the first time to date that we have seen Farouk and Crush one-on-one or in a tag team matchup here.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the Nation of Domination is multiplying as time goes on. There's more and more of them every day.
And here comes Doug Furnas and Philip LaFon. Outstanding tag team combination. For over 5 years, regular tag team partners with the All Japan Wrestling Organization based in Tokyo. Former All Asian Tag Team Champions. Certainly looking forward to someday having the opportunity to compete for the WWF Tag Title, even though last Monday night on Raw, Furnas and LaFon lost in a very controversial way, I might add. A non-title matchup with a team we're about to see right here.
The British Bulldog and Slammy award-winning Owen Hart, and the way that Furnas and LaFon lost was that Owen Hart turned in another Slammy award-winning performance, JR. By the way, would you watch that hat, please? Every time you turn your head, you like to knock me out.
Well, I like my new hat. Matter of fact, my new line of hats will be out by Christmas, I hope.
That's the worst line I've ever heard of. Look at the Godwins. Oh, if I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the mud. Well, the Godwins, you know, were both MVPs in the 1986 Arkansas Toilet Bowl.
Oh.
Did you realize that?
I didn't realize that.
Yes.
So we have now our 4 teams.
You don't think they're going to turn loose of a pigskin, do you?
And our timekeeper, Sunny, the queen of the Superstars Bowl, rings the bell. We are ready to go here, and the entire Nation of Domination remaining out here. That may not bode well for the other 3 teams in this contest. And it's Philip LaFon and the British Bulldog, who, by the way, will go one-on-one tomorrow night on Raw right here on the USA Network.
Well, this is going to be a real interesting matchup. Like you said, a couple of confrontations in the past between these two teams, but there's some other folks in this match.
Look out.
That's a submission maneuver, JR. Trying to take that knee out, but Bulldog able to make it to the ropes. There's some other folks in this match that are going to complicate it. I think Bulldog and Owen, Furnas and LaFon are going to want to concentrate on each other.
Put to the face there by LaFon, and LaFon going up, and he's caught there by the Bulldog. Look at the power of the British Bulldog, and LaFon fights his way back down to the mat, and there's the suplex is reversed, and another counter, and a near fall.
Reverse and reverse again, and both these guys, excellent counter wrestlers. Every time one makes a move, the other comes out on top. And now Owen Hart, is he going for the sharpshooter? No, just a kick to the midsection.
We'll take another look, ladies and gentlemen, at this double feature. Look at this move here, the Bulldog showing his great power. And then another great counter move. The Bulldog is countered here. And again, the Bulldog's power coming to the front, kicking out. Good agility by LaFon.
Look at that counter. I'll tell you, both Furnas and LaFon, you don't hear a lot from them. They don't do a lot of talking. They prefer to let their action in the ring speak for themselves. But they both are excellent technicians.
Nice leg drag by Owen Hart. Another good counter move. Owen Hart and Bulldog are an outstanding team, and some say have gotten much more efficient since they begun their association with Clarence Mason.
Well, Clarence Mason has been a busy man, but I know from personal experience, don't trust him. However, the Nation of Domination is on a march, and I'm wondering, how do Owen and Bulldog fit in with Mason since Mason joined the Nation of Domination? Seems like there's a conflict of interest there.
And a double team here. The referee being distracted by Doug Furnas inadvertently, and that certainly gave the WWF Tag Champions the opportunity to double team Phil LaFon here. LaFon originally from Paris, France. Very proud of his French heritage is Philip LaFon.
I thought he was from Paris, Kentucky.
Or Paris, Arkansas. How we go there?
I'd like to say hello to Bill Ash, who I'm sure is watching Sunday Morning Superstars as he does each and every week down there in Paris.
Snapmare takeover by Owen Hart, the leg drop. And Owen Hart now tags in Big Henry Godwin.
Now, how do you like seeing that tag? That is an excellent example of what I was talking about. But wait a minute.
Owen Hart tried a cheap shot there. And Henry Godwin slamming Owen Hart right down on Philip LaFon now. Big Hank going for a cover and a near fall situation.
Well, I can't imagine that LaFon was too happy about that, even though the people seem to like Big Hank slamming Owen Hart. Problem was, LaFon took the brunt of it.
And the dim-witted Phineas Godwin being tagged in now. And good suplex by Phineas, showing one of the wrestling moves he's learned. 1, 2, and Philip LaFon in a great deal of trouble here.
I cannot believe, take a look at it again. He slammed Owen Hart straight on top of Phil LaFon. He's not making friends.
Coming with a slop drop, and I think we missed the tag. Showing you that double feature. And Henry Godwin in, the referee's losing control
Well,
here.
now it's just a big mess. LaFon's trying to schoolboy Godwin in. A drop kick by Furnas.
Furnas caught him, Phineas right in the face, and there's a first pinning situation. The first elimination of the matchup. The Godwin's returned to the locker room.
What teamwork by Furnas and LaFon, tit for tat, as Godwin had slammed Owen Hart on top of LaFon. This thing is going crazy, JR.
Three teams are left. Who will survive? We'll be right back. And welcome back, everyone, to the Superstars Bowl right here on Super Sunday on the USA Network. We're going to take you back and show you some more of this exciting action, James E.
Well, this happened during the break. A snap power slam by Doug Furnas on Farouk. The action has continued, and as you saw right before we left you for the commercial break, the Godwins have already been eliminated.
And you also saw a tag there between Farouk and the British Bulldog, and now Farouk tagged back in. And a cheap shot clothesline by the Bulldog, knocking Farouk down. Furnas for the cover, and a 2.5 count there.
See, that's the beauty of this match. That's why the Godwins are out. They were trying to work as a team. You saw earlier, Owen Hart tagged in one of the Godwins. You saw there, Bulldog tagged in Farouk. Get the other guys in, clear the field, and then you and your partner have an easier way to go.
Farouk certainly knows what it's like to go bowling normally at Florida State University. He did it on January the 1st. Played in a couple of Orange Bowls there, did Farouk. And a front face lock by Crush. And Crush is hearing that jailbird chant, and he does not like that. And what a leg drop, right to the face. Is it over? No, it's not. And Doug Furnas will not quit. Furnas, another great college football player at the University of Tennessee. The WWF full of outstanding athletes. There's no doubt about that.
Watch it!
Ladies and gentlemen, we understand that standing by Hunter Hearst Helmsley is Butler Curtis. What do you think about meeting Ahmed later this morning, Hunter?
You know, Jim Ross, a man of my distinction shouldn't even have to step into the same ring with a man like Ahmed Johnson. But since there's adequate shower facilities and soap in this building, and since this is a prelude to In Your House, where I have so graciously decided to put my Intercontinental title on the line against Ahmed Johnson, I've decided to step into the ring with him today and give him a small prelude to what will happen if he even makes it to In Your House.
Well, thank you very much, Hunter, and it's good to see Curtis again also. I always love a guy. Oh, wait a minute!
Oh, what a hurricanrana there.
Wow!
An inverted head scissors takeover by by Doug Furnas, rather, on Owen Hart. And Owen got himself tied up in a very precarious position there. Owen Hart's head was just drilled into the canvas.
I think we ought to take another look at that one. Holy moly. Oh, wait a minute.
Enziguri there by Owen Hart, the head kick. It may be over.
Look at LaFont. He can't believe it. He sees his... Oh, count of two.
That former Tennessee volunteer, Doug Furnas, is not going to quit. And Owen Hart can't believe he just got a 2 count. There's a cradle, and no, he didn't get it. No, he did not get it, did Owen Hart.
I cannot believe the action that we're seeing. Owen Hart and Doug Furnas back and forth. What impact, and a double leg splitter there. Make a wish, JR.
Owen Hart almost eliminated by that cradle of Doug Furnas. There's another lateral press.
Oh, come on, I got to see it again. Look at this, a combination hurricanrana and flying head scissors, and look at Owen Hart's head meet the canvas, then the enziguri, and you can hear the smack of the foot and the skull.
Bulldog tagging in Crush, and look at Furnas trying to fight out of the corner of the Nation of Domination. The Nation of Domination continues to grow seemingly each and every week, and that's startling footage of their newest member still to come here this morning on Sunday Morning Superstars.
We don't want to neglect. I was trying to be personable and try to keep my etiquette up talking to Hunter Helmsley.
That would be different.
When all of a sudden, all of the action broke out. But you see, Helmsley's new butler, Curtis, I understand has been doing a wonderful job, and it's good to see a man who can find good help these days.
Tremendous backbreaker by the powerful Crush. 6'8", over 300 pounds. Hooks the leg and got another. Boy, that was a long 2 count. And I don't know, quite frankly, how much more that Doug Furnas can withstand here. Boy, this crowd's seeing some great live action here. Looks like they'll see this afternoon in Philadelphia at the Coors State Center. Big event in Philadelphia.
Look at the power.
Pre-game pandemonium today in Philly at 1 o'clock. And a great vertical suplex by the former Intercontinental and 1/2 of the WWF Tag Champions, the British Bulldog. And look out. Oh, what a chop block. A cheap shot by Farouk. And Furnas is going to get the Duke. The Bulldog and Owen have been eliminated.
I can't believe it. The champions had to be the favorites coming into this thing. But Farouk, as you will see, returned the favor. Earlier, Bulldog had clotheslined Farouk. Boom! Farouk returns the favor, and the Bulldog and Owen hit the locker room.
Well, 2 teams are remaining. What? Honky Tonk's talking to who?
What? That's Rocky Maivia. What's he doing talking to Honky Tonk? That Brady's even laughing.
That's back in the locker room area. The Honky Tonk man having a conversation with Rocky Maivia. What could that be about? We'll try to keep you updated on that. Folks, the Superstar Bowl continues. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody, to USA. The Superstar Bowl continues. Standing by Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed, we're looking forward to your matchup later this morning, but how do you respond regarding the comments that Mr. Helmsley made, talking about he didn't want to soil himself with a man of your type?
First of all, Hart's going to get something that water and soap just can't take off. And as far as title goes, it's not his title. It's the Intercontinental People's title.
Well, first of all, Ahmed, we'd like to thank you for taking time out from your day job as United Nations interpreter to come and talk to us here today. But I think that he's going to have a rude awakening today because Ahmed faces Helmsley for the title at In Your House February 16th. If Helmsley can put him away today, JR, then he's going to have no chance. He's going to be beaten before he starts. He may not even get the title match.
Well, it's going to be a great matchup later here this morning. We're down to 2 teams in the Superstar Bowl. Furnace and LaFon against the Nation of Domination. What a jawbreaker there by Doug Furnace, driving his own head up into the jaw of Farouk. And Farouk certainly infuriated a crowd of some 16,640 yesterday afternoon in Madison Square Garden.
Farouk's going to the, Farouk, don't go to the air. That's not your strong point. And look at Furnace. Oh, my goodness.
A belly-to-belly suplex over the top by Doug Furnace. And Furnace really showing some tremendous resolve. No quit in this kid. And tag is made. Philip LaFon is in.
How much power does it take to do that to a 290-pound man? And look at LaFon. He's flying.
LaFon with a spinning heel kick. More martial arts movement by Philip LaFon here. And another spinning heel kick, and down goes Crush. But LaFon and Farouk are the legal men. LaFon going for the cover, but didn't have enough leverage there to hold down the powerful Farouk.
And Crush was there as a backup just in case. I tell you, these fans today in this arena and our viewers on television, look at this. They've seen action, the likes of which we haven't seen in a long time.
Hard shoulder block by Furnace, knocking down the 300-plus pound Crush. And wait a minute, there's a Dominator! The Dominator, just what Ahmed Johnson felt yesterday in Madison Square Garden, and the Nation of Domination have won the first Superstars Bowl right here on Super Sunday. As this huge crowd looks on, the Nation of Domination is getting stronger and stronger by the day.
Well, Furnace tried to save it, but Crush had him by the leg. The Dominator spelled defeat for Furnace and LaFon. Oh, give me the Superstar Bowl any day. No timeouts, no halftime, no huddling. It's all action. And the Nation of Domination come out on top of the first annual Superstars Bowl. What a match, what a day. Woo.
Folks, Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide, presents WWF In Your House Final Four, live Sunday, February 16th on pay-per-view.
And what a wild match we're going to see. The Hitman, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, and the man they call Vader in a 4-man elimination match. The winner gets the title shot at WrestleMania 13, and here's how it happened.
Stone Cold Steve Austin clearly dominated the Royal Rumble match, lasting over 45 minutes in the ring. Nevertheless, the Hitman, Bret Hart, clearly eliminated Austin. However, both WWF officials were distracted and missed the call. The opportunistic Austin climbed back in the ring and stole the victory from Bret Hart, along with Bret's WWF title shot at WrestleMania.
Incensed by what he claimed was just the latest in a series of unjust decisions, Bret the Hitman Hart unexpectedly let loose the following night on Monday Night Raw with these consequences. Take a listen.
You promised me that I would get an opportunity to fight for the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. You put me in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin and said that if I could beat Stone Cold Steve Austin, that I would be the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. Now, don't you think it's just a little bit convenient that for some stupid reason, Shawn Michaels finds himself out at ringside announcing in my World Championship match with Psycho Sid? I don't think it was any kind of a coincidence either. So Shawn Michaels jumps up and sticks his nose in my business and costs me the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt with blatant interference. The boy toy cost me the championship, and they go, oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Because now you can go in the Royal Rumble and you only have to fight 29 other guys, and then you'll get your opportunity for the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. So I went in the ring, and it's very, very clear to me that I won the Royal Rumble, and I should be getting a World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. Where is my opportunity? You know, the way I look at things right now, I've been screwed by Shawn Michaels, the boy toy. I've been screwed by Stone Cold Steve Austin. I've been screwed by the World Wrestling Federation. But the way I see things, it doesn't look like I'm gonna get my opportunity for a shot at the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. So I quit.
I quit. We never thought we'd hear Bret Hart say those words, and Stone Cold then would seize the moment.
Ever since you came back, you ain't done nothing but cry. You sit there and talk about how Vince screwed you, how everybody screwed you, how I screwed you. The bottom line is, son, when the going gets tough, the hearts get going back home. Knock it off. Going back to Canada, son, because the only person you could possibly beat is your wrinkled-up old man in his little old basement.
Later that night, WWF President Gorilla Monsoon attempted to right an injustice.
Everyone knows a real travesty occurred last night at the Royal Rumble, and Stone Cold Steve Austin was declared the winner of the Royal Rumble. Now, there isn't anything I can do about that because, as everyone knows, referees' decisions are final here in the World Wrestling Federation, and it will in fact state in the record books that the 1997 Royal Rumble was indeed won by Stone Cold Steve Austin. However, if he thinks for one moment that tainted victory is going to entitle him to a crack at the WWF title at WrestleMania 13, he's got another guest coming.
Then what do you propose to do about it?
What I've done is this, Vince. I've put together a very unique match, a four-man elimination, no disqualification match, the winner of which will unquestionably face the World Wrestling Federation champion, whomever it may be, at WrestleMania 13.
And those four participants?
Those four participants that I have chosen are, number one, The Undertaker, who was illegally eliminated in the Royal Rumble by Austin. Number two, Vader, who was also illegally eliminated by Stone Cold in the Royal Rumble. Number three, if he accepts Bret the Hitman Hart, who was also illegally eliminated by Stone Cold Steve Austin. And of course, the man who got the tainted victory at the Royal Rumble, Stone Cold Steve Austin himself.
Just then, Stone Cold charged back to the ring and challenged Monsoon.
There ain't no way I should be in this match. I threw 29 pieces of trash over the top rope. And if that's what it's gonna take, I'll get in your little four-way match myself. The bottom line is, son, when I get through with them four, I'll toss your carcass around the arena. Hell, I might just do that now.
As quickly as he left, Bret Hart returned with an answer for Monsoon and a message for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I accept. No, wait! But we don't need to wait till February. Let's do it right now.
Uh-oh! Bret Hart and Austin, they're going to get it on here. They're fighting. What a brawl! Virtually anything goes. No disqualification. disqualifications. It'll be sanctioned mayhem. Later that night, we got a Final Four preview of sorts as the match between Austin and The Undertaker got out of hand. Vader, The Undertaker, Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Only one man will be left standing on February 16th, and the winner will battle for the WWE title at WrestleMania 13.
And there he is, JR, Bret the Hitman Hart. He got a lot off his chest last Monday. Is he just whining and complaining, or does he have a legitimate gripe? Is he gonna quit again today? We'll find out when we come back. Don't go away.
Ladies and gentlemen, my guest at this time is the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, Bret Hitman Hart.
What a tremendous ovation for no doubt a future Hall of Famer here in the World Wrestling Federation, the incomparable Bret the Hitman Hart, who will be involved, no doubt, in the Final Four matchup. He'll be involved, all right, in a big, big way. February 16th on pay-per-view from the UTC Arena in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Bret Hart, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Vader. Four will enter the ring, but only one man will face the WWF champion, whomever that may be, at WrestleMania 13. Bret Hart has been telling it like it is. As the old cliche goes, this should be most interesting.
Bret, suffice to say, we all understand how frustrated you are. But I know you wanted this time to kind of explain your actions from last week on Raw.
Well, for me, I just want to say that the last thing that I ever want to be remembered is in the World Wrestling Federation is as a loser. But the only thing ever being worse than being remembered for being a loser is being remembered as a quitter or a guy that non-stop just continued to complain about it all the time. I don't want to be remembered as a quitter or a loser or a complainer, but I find it really hard, because I really sincerely believe in my heart that a lot of stuff has gone on. I was the first one to say that there are no rules in the World Wrestling Federation. But I think for every time I take one step forward, I'm taking 2 steps back. And I think I've been pushed about as far back as I can go. I believe in my heart that Shawn Michaels purposely cost me the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt. I believe that Stone Cold Steve Austin screwed me out of the 1997 Royal Rumble. And even going back just a few weeks ago, in my match with Vader, I was screwed out of a victory, and it was another travesty of justice. And every time I look back at what's been happening since I came back in the World Wrestling Federation, the WWF, the powers that be, haven't done a thing about it. But I'm willing to overlook all of that because, again, I don't really want to be remembered that way. And I got another opportunity now with this Final Four. And the way I look at it, I got another opportunity to go in the ring with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And no matter how Stone Cold Steve is, he'll never be as cool as the Excellence of Execution. I look forward to stepping in the ring with Big Vader and righting the wrong and showing him that he's not good enough and he never ever will be good enough to get past the Excellence of Execution. And while I have infinite respect for The Undertaker, and we've crossed paths before, and I'm sure we'll cross paths again, but the fact is, I'm not afraid of the dark side, and I'm not afraid of The Undertaker. The Final Four is a chance for me to be the last man standing once again. And the way I look at the World Wrestling Federation now, it's kind of like dog eat dog, and I feel like it's a bit like King of the Mountain or King of the Hill, and I'm climbing up to the top of the mountain, and I got my fingers at the very top of the mountain. And I got Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I got Vader, and I've got The Undertaker. I got everybody stomping on my fingers. But they're not gonna stop me. Nobody is gonna stop me, and I'm gonna get to the top of that mountain, and I'm gonna throw every single one of them off, one by one. And finally, I'm gonna take Shawn Michaels, and I'm gonna hurl him off. And I'll prove once again to myself and all my fans around the world, without a shadow of a doubt, that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And I will be the World Wrestling Federation champion for a 4th time. Thank you.
Bret the Hitman Hart, he's convinced that he can be the #1 man in the World Wrestling Federation. I'll tell you what the problem is, JR. Shawn Michaels won his match at the Rumble. Bret Hart lost his match at the Rumble, and that's why Bret has to prove himself. He is hot, and he's jealous.
Well, we'll hear from Shawn Michaels tomorrow night on Raw. But Bret Hart has great popularity, no doubt about it, including last Sunday night in the record-breaking 60,525 WWF Royal Rumble. What a crowd on hand to see the 1997 Royal Rumble. What a night it was. 60,525 in San Antonio. And the atmosphere, folks, I promise, was absolutely electrifying. But still to come right here this morning, the Pearl River Powerhouse, Ahmed Johnson, takes on that Greenwich snob, Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
And Savio Vega with the Nation. Footage from Shotgun is next.
Ahmed Johnson going for the Pearl River Plunge on Crush. This was yesterday in Madison Square Garden. Ahmed Johnson had almost single-handedly dismantled the Nation of Domination.
And Ahmed Johnson now ready to finish Farouk off. But Ahmed's partner, Savio Vega, as you see in the corner, trying to make the tag, wanting to get a piece of the action, wanting to get a hold of the Nation of Domination. But when the tag is made, watch what happens.
Why would Savio Vega turn his back on Ahmed Johnson? Has Savio Vega joined the Nation of Domination? Last night at Shotgun Saturday Night, Todd Pettengill had the opportunity to talk to Savio Vega, who denied that he was a member of the Nation of Domination and said that his Puerto Rican temper just got the best of him.
Well, JR, that explanation may have held for a while, but when the Nation of Domination showed up at ringside during Savio's match with Rocky Maivia, all heck broke loose, and soon Savio Vega had joined the Nation of Domination in delivering a brutal beating to the rookie sensation, Rocky Maivia.
It was like a pack of ravaged dogs. Look at Farouk with that leather belt, assault Rocky Maivia. If there were ever any questions as to Savio Vega's membership in the Nation of Domination, all those questions were answered last night.
JR, not a lot surprises me in the World Wrestling Federation anymore, but I can't believe it's Savio Vega, a member of the Nation of Domination.
And that has to be a huge concern for that man Ahmed Johnson, with Savio Vega joining the likes of Farouk and Crush. This Nation of Domination is a very, very deadly and dangerous organization, one that sooner or later will catch up with a man from Pearl River, Mississippi.
But Ahmed Johnson had better not look ahead of Hunter Hearst Helmsley here today in a non-title match. We'll have that for you in just a second. If you go away, shame on you.
Welcome back, everyone. The Intercontinental Champion about to make his way to the ring, and today WWF Superstars is brought to you by Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
Why don't you check that out, JR? Go ahead and send me some. I'll see how quick I get it.
Don't hold your breath on that one, all right?
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, look at that beautiful championship belt. He won it, as a matter of fact, to make his own. He has his personal jeweler in Greenwich, but Monsoon wouldn't sanction it.
And, of course, Helmsley followed by his newly retained butler, Curtis.
As I said earlier, it's hard to find good help these days, but I think Curtis has already shown that he could be a great help to Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Look at that face. Is there a public ugly limit in this building?
Curtis has certainly got himself in good shape just to be a butler. I think he's more of a bodyguard, if you know what I mean. And of course, Hunter Hearst Helmsley will meet Ahmed Johnson for the Intercontinental title Sunday, February 16th during the Final Four event in Chattanooga, Tennessee's UTC Arena. That'll be on pay-per-view Sunday, February 16th. While we're talking about big events in February, February 17th, the WWF Live in the new Nashville Arena. February the 18th, back in my old stomping grounds in Birmingham, Alabama. And then headed up to Knoxville, Tennessee, where James E. became infamous.
February the 20th, that's a Thursday night in K-Town. You know, I'm glad to be going back to civilization after spending so much time in the frozen north, JR.
Well, actually, the big event in Knoxville is on a Wednesday night, just for your information.
No, it's not. It's Thursday, I swear.
Collar elbow tie up by Ahmed Johnson, and down goes Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And Helmsley certainly cannot match power with Ahmed Johnson. And I defer to my esteemed colleague here regarding Knoxville is on a Thursday night.
Thank you. I'm sure Jennifer Good, our psychedelic producer, was the one who gave you that information. This is going to be a great matchup, Ahmed Johnson and Helmsley, because it's a matchup of strength and science. It's a matchup of speed and power.
Well, as long as Ahmed is vertical, he is very, very dangerous. Helmsley has and now Ahmed is rubbing a little salt in the wound of Helmsley.
He's trying to say that Helmsley soiled him instead of the other way around. Is that what he's saying?
I think that's what he means.
Oh,
Side
man.
headlock by Helmsley, who has great technical skills and must be able to utilize them here to survive this matchup. What a shoulder block by the powerful Ahmed Johnson. And this non-title matchup is certainly not going the way of the snob from Greenwich, Connecticut.
Well, you see, Helmsley's just feeling him out. That's what the situation is. He's feeling him out. You said Ahmed Johnson's great as long as he's vertical. Well, Hunter Hearst Helmsley is an expert at making people horizontal.
Well, we've heard that.
Do you think Helmsley really cares what happens in this match? He's feeling Ahmed out because on February 16th, he's putting that title on the line. And when he gets down there to that UTC Roundhouse, he wants to make sure that he knows exactly what Ahmed's strengths and weaknesses are.
Ahmed Johnson giving us a clean break, but Helmsley didn't comply to the referee's instructions there and got a cheap shot in. And Ahmed Johnson says, so you want to fight? We'll fight. No problem. Ahmed Johnson, I know, cheering for the Green Bay Packers later today, as is most of America.
Beautiful reversal. Oh, almost a beautiful reversal.
When you got the power of Ahmed Johnson, you can just use that muscle to block a lot of moves. That's what happened right there.
What's he saying? Where's the belt? This is a non-title match, and Ahmed Johnson knows that he's going to have to prove himself. So far, he's not showing me anything. Helmsley's taking care of him easily, I think.
Kick to the midsection by Ahmed Johnson. And Ahmed the scissors kick, and down goes the Intercontinental Champion. We know that Ahmed Johnson refers to the Intercontinental title as the People's Belt, the People's Championship. But Ahmed Johnson's not the only person interested in the Intercontinental title. What about Goldust? And Ahmed misses the elbow. What about Wildman Mark Merrow? A lot of folks are in the hunt for the Intercontinental title, currently held by Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who showed some dastardly sportsmanship on Shotgun Saturday Night last night from Webster Hall in New York City.
Oh, yeah, he put the pedigree on Rocky Maivia. As a matter of fact, after Maivia had already had the bejesus knocked out of him by the Nation of Domination, Helmsley, doing commentary, pedigreed Rocky to finish him off.
Irish whip is reversed to the center of the ropes, and Helmsley holds on. That was a good move there.
Well,
Ahmed Johnson falling out of sight. And back in, looking on the monitor, that's, of course, Goldust and Marlena.
Hey, look, I knew Marlena was interested in Helmsley.
Folks, this matchup, wait a minute.
My mom needed money, and
Meet the son who did not send the money Western Union.
she had to hitchhike across 3 counties. Took 2 pickups and an 18-wheeler.
And the heartbreak it caused.
Oh, son!
Later tonight.
Western Union, the fastest way to send money worldwide.
And now Western Union presents Rewind.
Doug Furnas driving Crush out of the ring, but Bill LaFont still down on the mat. Farouk takes the opportunity. The Dominator on Philip LaFont spins him over. The cover, Furnas. Is he too late? He's too late to make the save.
That from earlier today on the Superstar Bowl, the winning team, the Nation of Domination. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley working on the kidney area. The area that had been well documented, injured by Farouk, the lacerated kidney. And of course, tomorrow night on Raw, it will be Ahmed Johnson and Crush. And you can bet, James Z., that the entire Nation of Domination will be on hand to offer more than, well, let's say, immoral support for Crush tomorrow night on Raw.
I wonder if Savio's going to show up. You know, I went back in the back during the break, by the way, JR, just to see if I could get a comment from the Honky Tonk Man on exactly what he was talking to Rocky Maivia about. He wouldn't even tell me. I don't know, but if he is trying to sign Rocky Maivia up, then I know from experience he's dropping his bucket down a dry well. That guy, he won't listen to anybody.
Snapmare takeover by Hunter Hearst Helmsley, who may be wasting some valuable time here. And Helmsley going for that Harley Race-like knee drop right to the head. And going for the cover now, hooking the far leg, and Ahmed Johnson gets a right shoulder off the canvas, much to the frustration of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
You know, you talked about all the people that want the Intercontinental Championship, but Ahmed Johnson is selfish. He doesn't recognize anybody else's claim to it. He says because he never lost that title, it should still be his. He was the Intercontinental Champion, as you know, when he was injured by Farouk, and he still claims ownership of that title.
Ahmed Johnson with not a great deal of technical expertise, but a world full of power. A Super Bowl full of power. Does Ahmed Johnson possess? Look at this standing vertical suplex. Very reminiscent of the powerful British Bulldog's own technique. Also tomorrow night on Raw, we're going to see Vader and Mankind, now teammates, take on the Godwins in tag team action. We talked about Shawn Michaels has got a lot to say tomorrow night on Raw. Bulldog and Philip Lafon one-on-one, and of course Crush and Ahmed Johnson. All that tomorrow night and much more on Raw here on the USA Network.
Last night on Shotgun, I saw Mankind interested in Womankind. I can't believe Vader and Mankind as a team.
There's a lateral press and another near fall here. Ahmed Johnson certainly refuses to keep his shoulders on the canvas.
You know, JR, I may have to take you out to dinner with that money I got from Paul Bearer on that Vader deal.
Well, that will be different. 15 years, that'd be a first. You spending a couple of bucks. You must have a coupon for Wendy's or something.
I got some gift certificates from McDonald's from Finkel for Christmas, but we won't go into that now. Helmsley, he has he's got Ahmed in the corner, but he can't keep him there.
Helmsley cannot win a fist fight with Ahmed Johnson. Helmsley is too smart to use these tactics. I think his ego is about the size of that big old nose of his. It's getting in the way here.
I'm telling you, he's trying to see what Ahmed's got before the title is on the line in Chattanooga on February 16th.
Ahmed was reaching for a double leg pickup there, perhaps a waist lock, and Helmsley saw it coming. Good adjustment there by Hunter Hearst Helmsley on Ahmed Johnson in this non-title matchup. Ooh, nice back body drop by the Pearl River Powerhouse.
Wait a minute.
Ahmed Johnson.
That was a hand signal. That was a hand signal from Helmsley. He's trying to distract the referee's attention over there. And look at Curtis. He's going around the back. I knew it.
Helmsley's detaining a referee. Here comes the Butler.
Ooh.
Oh, the Butler did it. The Butler did it with a belt. Big Curtis he nailed Ahmed right in the back of the head. Ahmed Johnson is down, and now can Hunter Hearst Helmsley capitalize?
I knew this was a plot. He's got him now.
Oh,
he don't have him now.
Look at the power of Ahmed Johnson.
It's obvious now that Helmsley agreed to this match to try to get Johnson out of the way before February 16th, and it appears that it is yet to work.
That big Johnson is hard to handle, I'll tell you that right now. Johnson in the corner. Ahmed Johnson will not stay down. There's a lot of fight left in him, and look at the power. Ahmed Johnson with tremendous velocity throws Helmsley over the top, and now Johnson is out there. Helmsley must think there's two of them, Johnson and Johnson.
If he throws him any further, he'll have to clear customs to get back in. Ahmed Johnson, he's going after Helmsley. Even the intervention of Curtis did not win the match for Hunter, and now Ahmed Johnson is mad.
And Helmsley must be thinking, what have I got myself into? Oh! At the Final Four of February 16th, I'm not so sure that Helmsley can handle Ahmed Johnson from a physical sense. Ahmed Johnson wants to win the Intercontinental title back for the people. He'll get that opportunity during the Final Four in Chattanooga.
He's going for the Pearl River, but here comes Curtis. Hurry up, Curtis!
That huge Butler. He's nothing more but a bodyguard. That's all he is. He's no Butler. Look at Curtis with those stomps of those leather boots right to the head of Ahmed Johnson. Helmsley and Curtis having their way with the Pearl River powerhouse.
You may not think he's a butler, but he's buttling Ahmed Johnson right in the head right now. He's hammering him with those big, thick leather gloves. And Hunter Hearst Helmsley has got, well, wait a minute.
Ahmed Johnson back up and ready to fight.
Go!
Helmsley's going to get out of there while the getting is good.
Look at him fly! Holy mackerel!
Tremendous back body drop. We've got a war here on Sunday Morning Superstars. You can feel the intensity here, and a spine buster, and Goldust coming down the aisle, attacking Helmsley.
What business has he got here? This isn't his fight.
Helmsley and Goldust, this is personal between those two as well. And here comes Ahmed Johnson. The fight, and Ahmed Johnson knocks them both down. What is going on here? It is chaotic on Sunday morning. Helmsley is running. That battle continues.